Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode. This time on Rambling About Nonsense. We're not going to be talking about nonsense today. We're going to be talking about my experience. Not even really my experience, but what could have been. What could have been. Mass Effect. You see the title. You know what the video is about. It's about what could have been. What could have been with Mass Effect. Now, I've had, a love-hate relationship with Mass Effect. It's mostly been love, but then Mass Effect 3 came out, and then it was hate. And then Andromeda came out, and it was hate again. Yeah, that sucks, eh? But what could have been? What could have been? Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1, great game. Gameplay, great. Story, amazing. I know a lot of people have their qualms, their issues with Mass Effect 1's gameplay, the gunplay in particular. But I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was fun. Mass Effect 2 though, gunplay amazing, gameplay amazing, story amazing. Like Mass Effect 2, amazing. One of the best games ever, right? Possibly, maybe. I mean, those, friendship missions, the loyalty missions, they kind of they're not great. Some of them are okay, but in general they're not great. I would say. Like what's you're gonna have to forgive me here. So I'm not set up. These rambling videos, I don't really have any research in front of me. But one of the loyalty missions where you hold on a minute. The squad. Let me see. What's the friggin' squad again? Not Jack. Where are you? Jacob. Jacob Taylor. Jacob Taylor is his loyalty mission with his dad and everything. That mission sucks. That mission sucks because it's just so it's so boring. It's an interesting, plot like in terms of thinking about thinking about what happens when you have power and you don't, know how to control it or control your, feelings on a certain subject, and it can cloud your ability to make the right decision. And we've seen it happen time and time again in real life and whatnot. But specifically in this mission, it just kind of dragged on, and I don't know. Other loyalty missions are better, like Jack's and Garrus's. Even though Garrus, I would say, is a boring mission, and I like tailing stealthy missions, so I don't think it's that bad. And I like the whole, especially like the ending part where it's like you have a choice to make whether or not you let Garrus do the thing or you don't let him do the thing. But in this episode, I want to talk specifically about Mass Effect 3's ending. So if you're on this video, you probably know about the indoctrination theory. It's a theory that had a huge blow up at the end of the third game, and there's a lot of speculation on if it was true and whatnot, and there was a lot of hints that it totally was true, or at least that possibly was the direction that they were going. And then we find out, yeah, probably not happening. That sucks. But, friggin' phone, dude. But, can you hear that? Probably not. But, after Mass Effect 3, and especially after all the DLCs that they release Andromeda. And Andromeda is, doesn't really take place after. I mean, it does take place after Mass Effect 3, but it doesn't really have any direct correlation with the original series. It's just kind of there with the species, and it's you essentially could have titled that game totally different, and it probably would have done better. But since it was a Mass Effect title, they really effed up. So I've been sitting on this for like years now. Essentially, my thought was Mass Effect, if they were going to continue the series, they should have created Mass Effect Zero. Mass Effect Zero is essentially a title that I thought of, which plays on the indoctrination theory a little bit more. Essentially, this game would take place, like years and years and years before, the Shepard timeline. It would take place before the Protheans, who are the collectors, if I remember correctly. Back when they weren't the collectors. But essentially, it would take place before that, before the collectors, the Protheans and whatnot. It would take place in like the cycle before that, and essentially, your main character over the course of the game would slowly be indoctrinated by the Reapers, and at the end of the game, you would essentially kill your crew and yourself because you were indoctrinated, and the Reapers got what they want, essentially. And then at the end of the game, or rather, the credit sequence. At the very end of the credit sequence, it would go black, and then a scene would play, and it would be the breathing scene. So when you finish Mass Effect 3, the destroy option, and you have like a 5,000 or more rating score, whatever it was called again, the war rating or whatever, you would see the breathing scene. So we would see the breathing scene again. However, it wouldn't stop at the breath. It would continue, and we would hear Keith David yelling, Anderson! Or wait, no. He would say, Shepard! I don't know why he would say his own name. No, he would say Shepard's name. He would say, Shepard! And he would, clear the rubble away, and we would find out that, yes, it was all, an indoctrination attempt by the Reapers on Shepard, and Shepard was able to he was able to outstrength the indoctrination by the Reapers. And then, after that, like, it would be both Anderson and Shepard, just like standing on rubble on the rebar and looking out to a desolate, earth, whatnot, like just broken, burned earth. And it would fade to black, and it would say Mass Effect 4 coming soon, or coming next year, or whatever, or in production, or whatever. And I think that would have been a lot better than what they did with Andromeda. I mean, I don't know if there are other people that have this same sort of theory. Or not theory, but what they would have done with Mass Effect. I just think if you were going to make another title for Mass Effect, why distance it from the main trilogy? Just kind of doesn't really seem to make like sense. That wasn't English. But, like, BioWare went on to make Anthem, so it kind of felt like they were really done with Mass Effect, so it feels like either they or EA was like, hey, make another Mass Effect, but they didn't really want to make another Mass Effect because they were done, so they decided to make Andromeda, and we all know how that went. And then they went on to Anthem, and then we also know what happened with that. So, whatever. I mean, that's all I gotta say. I mean, we all know Mass Effect was, one of the best, franchises, had one of the best starts, and now it has fallen to grace. And I mean, the Mass Effect trilogy remaster is coming out, so that's gonna be cool to see. But Mass Effect 3 is still gonna have the same issues, and I don't really see how anything really changes in terms of the fan view of the series, the trilogy. There's the series, the franchise in general. So I'm just kind of like, yeah. I mean, should have just Mass Effect 4 should have just been a thing. The indoctrination theory should have just been true because not a good ending. And then Mass Effect Andromeda was just bad. So, oh well. Hopefully the remaster is good. I mean, I imagine it would be good. I don't know why it wouldn't be good. Mass Effect 1 and 2 will still be good. So, oh well. What could have been, right? What could have been. Bye bye.